our gear, by the way, isn't that great. We are at... yeah, when it triggers properly, it can just decimate everything, guys. Look at those numbers. Those bosses are usually way weaker than their normal versions, and yeah, rip, bye. Sup guys, it's Kosh with Soul Knight Prequel, and today we are doing the new class guide. This time it's Elementalist, so finally I've got the mage. So the Elementalist is combined class of Tempest, mage and Pyromancer, so we have all the spells available in the game in our disposal. So first let's cover the stats. Mainly of course it's intelligence, but you will need some strength here as well in order to get more health, otherwise you will die pretty fast. So yeah, I went something like 50% into intelligence, 40% into strength and 10% into dexterity, so that's how I distributed the stats. Now for the skills, this is a really interesting build, so let's go. And honestly, they are nearly perfect, so I will not do the reset. I will just tell you what you can change in order to optimize it if you feel that it's needed. So, for the Tempest mage, first of all, we get this smooth sailing. That will increase the chance for your elemental damage to inflict ailment. That will allow enemies to be burned, frozen, shocked and all that. That's pretty important for this build. Next, we skip both Icicles and Invoke Thunder. Those skills are not really needed for our build. We go with the Tempest Aura and we max it out. That will allow us to do extra cold and shock damage. We put one extra point into the Shatter on the left. That will allow us to do extra damage when the freeze duration will end. So that's additional DPS for us. And resistant conditioning, but it's not the top priority. It's like secondary stats over here, because we will need those cold and shock resistances later on. Now for the Pyromancer, we go with the Pyroclad. That means if we'll take damage, we will get additional defense, damage reduction, fire damage. So when we take damage, we won't die that fast and we will do more damage. Then we'll move on to the Fire Aura, which will increase our fire damage and extra fire damage bonuses. They are really nice. You would like to max this one out. I can do the reset and get additional points here, but honestly right now I don't feel it's really necessary for me, so I'll leave it like that, but that should be 4. Then you would like to get 1 point of conflagration. That will allow your fire element explode on expire and leave ember. We will need that ember later on as well, and extra damage is always nice. You need only 1 point over here. I've put 2 early on. You might want to change it, but it works okay for me. And then you get the Volcanic Rift. That will actually be one of our main spells, so you will need to max this one out. This volcano will save your life. Higher skill level will lower the cooldown, so it's really necessary to get it to the max tier. Then you can get some extra resistance for survivability here, but this one isn't as good as the cold and shock resistance. Why? We will learn it when we will go to our Elementalist tab. Here the first skill is Elemental Equilibrium. Once you get both those spells and triggers, you will need this at level 4, because it will allow you to do extra damage when you do damage of different type of element. So fire damage will increase cold and shock damage, cold damage will increase fire and shock, etc. Those buffs are stackable, and yeah, they last for 3 seconds. That's quite a lot since you will do a lot of attacks. We skip both of those skills. We get 1 point of Dipole Discharge. That will allow shock damage to do fire ailment, and cold damage will transform fire ailment into cold ailment, so that's more ailments for you and extra damage, but just a little bit, don't overdo it. This is not that crazy, but you need it at the first level to get a bit more oomph. And now we go to the main part. This spell, Apophis Impact. This is a crazy spell that does insane damage, but it requires embers in order to do that. So basically it will consume the embers in its radius and will rain crazy damage on the enemies, and it's doing crazy elemental damage. So it will work together with Elemental Equilibrium and consume all the embers from our volcano and will destroy the enemies around if it will hit them though. Then you get Elemental Polychromator, which is a debuff for the enemy. It lowers the enemy resistances and also will do some damage, but the damage of this spell is really not that high, so it's just there, and I really don't like its range, so it's not that great, but it's really useful to do extra damage because lower resistances means higher damage. And in the end you get Storm Road, which will give you extra cold and shock resistances and will transform 50% of your cold and shock resistances into the cold and shock damage. That means that our stats here, take a look, bam, we got 60 shock resistance and 40 cold resistance, gives us extra damage and pretty good one as well. So yeah, because of this passive for resistance conditioning is really good for us. It gives us more DPS and survivability, so seems nice. And yeah, your extra stats can go to basic training, how I did over here, or you can go for extra resistances. It's up to you. I personally got a bit more resistances because I really don't want my character to die that often, but overall it's pretty nice. Now for the skill wheel setup. We have the auras on the second tab as always, so we can activate them and switch back to the main screen, main tab, and here we get the Volcano, Chromatic, whatever thingy, and the Hell Rain. I call it Hell Rain, and Poppy's Impact. So yeah, those three spells are the only ones you will use, and you get the healing potion over here as well, which is really convenient for extra healing. You don't need to switch to another tab to heal. That will help you sometimes quite a lot. The skill order will go as follows. Hello, Mr. Scarecrow. You start with the Volcano, then you get this Pyramid thingy debuff, then you use the Rain of Elements because it will do crazy AoE damage. Look at that damage, that's insane. Highest damage 142k, that's nice DPS. And yeah, you can just spam them non-stop if you want to. That will allow you to do crazy DPS. Let's see how high we can go here. Our gear, by the way, isn't that great. We are at... yeah, when it triggers properly, it can just decimate everything, guys. Look at those numbers. So in order to do that maximum damage, you need to consume a lot of embers, so you will get more charges of those elemental shots. That might be problematic. Moreover, as you can see, they land in the random areas, so they don't always hit the target. For the pet I'm running with the cat, I'm not really sure why. I just love cats, and it have reduced enemy attack speed when attacked bonus, so it will allow us to kinda get a bit more room on the boss. Another option might be epic gear that we all have with the hybrid skills. You can get the movement speed and debuff resistance higher, and some area damage and draw enemies together ability as well. But I don't feel like it's that crazy. That one is actually pretty good as well. Delete surrounding projectiles when attacked. So that's additional ability that will really help you out at the bosses, so you can configure it how you feel will be right for you. Now let's move to the boons of the Valkyrie. Here we get only one. This is just barely reached level 50, so we don't have that much. We have this Thor's Damnation, whatever. Basically, our Rain of Hell will also cause additional thunder damage, which is really nice because the more shock damage means other spells will do more damage. You should look for something like that. If you can amplify your auras with something cool, that would be great as well. But yeah, basically try to get something with the elemental damage. That will help a lot. Now guys, let's move on to important part, the gear. Well, everything else was important as well, but the gear is very important for this character. First of all, the best set for you will be Arc Wizard set, because you will get Spirit of Arc Wizard that will increase dexterity based on intelligence. You will also get Echo Casting, which is nice as well. Next good set for you will be Triumvirate Megalith one, the one that gives you Spirit of that dude, that will convert your damage type to fire, shock, cold in order. That means more elemental damage for you. Moreover, it get the critical casting, while the last one have echo casting. Both of those are essential for your build. Honestly guys, echo casting is the core here, because without it you will have issues. It will trigger one extra time for the spell every 2.5 seconds, which is, well, really important for our spells, because that will allow us to do so much more damage. Mage Vestments is a must because it will lower the cooldown, you will need that as well. And another really insane ability is Twin Nova, because it will allow your AoE skills to trigger twice, and all our skills are AoE skills, so that means when this one is maxed out, you can do double the skill. So together with echo casting, that will multiply your damage, and that's really helping you out. So yeah, basically those are the core ones: echo casting, Twin Nova, and critical casting. Those things are helping out so much, everything else is secondary after that. My character isn't wearing the right things, guys, for sure, so we only have echo casting, and I'm happy that I have at least that. You can also roll for intelligence boost on the secondary stat if you can, that might help you out a bit to get extra intelligence. But yeah, overall, you don't really need to go for anything else that I mentioned. Also, one additional thing, you might want to have that intelligence plus 5 bonus of mana regen just in case, so your mana will always be high and effective. So now let's see how this character is in the actual fight. So we got all the auras, and what's really cool that I will show you right now, that once you start casting your spells, even if you leave their original area, they will still hit where you are, so you can keep running forward and you will still do damage. That's actually pretty cool, and that will speed up your progress drastically. So yeah, you can just spam your volcano and second meteor attack basically, and just wreak havoc on the battlefield. It works really well, and it's perfect for clearing out the normal mobs. And yeah, honestly, I haven't had any significant issues with the enemies so far. I've managed to get to the highest difficulty already on this character, and it's going pretty well and easy. At first I tried to stay away from the enemies, but now I'm just going in and doing everything with all the right gear. You will get at least 3 times more spells on the screen, so yeah, you will be able to clean it even faster. Just make sure that your pet is on prioritized loot options, so it will pick up all the important stuff that will be dropped. And take a look at the map, that way you won't actually miss legendary drops or something important. But yeah, since you don't have to worry about the mana in this build, you can just push forward and cast your spells like there is no tomorrow. The only problem, if you would like to keep the combo going, you will need to keep going yourself. If you will stop to collect the loot, you will probably fall behind, because for our second spell, this one, after casting it, you will need a couple of seconds before it will start raining from the sky and destroying everything. So yeah, there is a slight delay. And that's really inconvenient when you fight the bosses, and it makes this class even more vulnerable. But yeah, guys, I really don't care, because I like that massacre of the screen, that crazy amount of elements and everything flying all around. There we go. You see that star on the map? That's the legendary drop. Never miss it, because you can quite easily miss it. This class is really good when you need to fight on one spot, so when you get this altar with bunch of enemies, man, this is where happiness starts, where the fun begins, because you just stand on one point and just spam your skills and just taking a look at your health, so in case if you are in trouble, you can walk away a little bit and use your healing potion. But yeah, this is insane moment when you can do your best damage. Alright, let's take a look at the boss fight, how it will be. Honestly, guys, most of the fights are pretty easy. Just some specific bosses like the dragon are the most annoying ones, because even with all our fire resistance, it's still decimating us with the goddamn damage over time effect. So yeah, look at that. That dude was completely destroyed. And we got another legendary and another legendary. Nice. Elementalist sorcery hat. That seems like the hat for me. Let's try to go to the Valkyrie area to see how fast we can destroy the enemies, how we can get the combo up, and then we can try some bosses afterwards. So yeah, once again, the main advantage of this class that it doesn't lack mana and it doesn't lack AoE damage. So here, where you don't really need to pick up any loot, you can go all in with your DPS, and oh my god, with this amount of enemies it's perfect. It will make clearing this walk in the park basically. It will not be any problem with that, and the enemies, they are dying pretty fast, so yeah, you probably won't have any issues with the normal enemies. And honestly, this is like one of the highest rated classes for this Valkyrie mode on the leaderboard. They managed to clear a higher amount of levels than most of the classes. So yeah, usually, guys, for other classes it takes way longer to get to this multiplier or to clear the map entirely, but here we are at 300 multiplier already, and it took me like maybe a couple of minutes. But yeah, that's what I was talking about. Just a second split and you will lose your multiplier, but I mean, it's okay, we are not here for XP anymore, right? So yeah, let's fight the local boss, Alpine Yeti Alpha. That dude will be destroyed in seconds. Those bosses are usually way weaker than their normal versions, and yeah, rip, bye. And yeah, guys, keep in mind that equipment is really important in this game. So if you have outdated equipment like I do, I have the previous tier equipment right now, and not all items. I have the green items here. No, they're blue, not even epic. And I have the agility necklace, basically. So yeah, I'm not in the perfect gear. And getting the better gear will be way easier to clear anything. Moreover, another important thing about the skills that this skill that destroys everything around you, the meteors, it's also destroying the trees and the walls, so you can easily clear the entire area, go through the walls and do shortcuts, which is pretty hilarious. It's also important and useful at some boss fights where the arena is pretty narrow, and there, during the fight, it becomes bigger, so you have more space to evade enemy projectiles. There are some advantages to that for sure. So yeah, the next boss area, let's see who do we have here. I hope it's not Mandragora. Oh, it's Mandragora. I hate them. Mandragora is another my most hated hero, because this is only, yeah, they're both Mandragoras, because those guys, they heal, so you can't really do that much. Moreover, they consistently throw poison at you, so if you will be able to over DPS it and burst it down, you're good. But in other scenarios, you might really end your life in a very miserable way. Let me make sure that I'm doing everything I can. Healing. Oh wow, that was close. Moreover, they got that debuff that actually disorient you, and yeah, they're really annoying. Come on, let's take, there we go. Mandragora is down now. Even if I die, I can do the reset, and well, I can watch the ad and finish off the Elven Mandragora. It's not that dangerous anymore alone. Oh, maybe it is. There we go. Elven Mandragora is going down as well. And oh, that's a lot of damage. Let's heal up. There we go. Destroyed. Look at all that loot. Hall of Resonance. Alright. So yeah, even the Mandragora can be beaten with this class if you will be running fast enough and using the right skills at the right time. I really advise you, if you are facing the serious fight, to use those two skills and then wait couple of seconds to get yourself that ability to do double cast and use it, so you will have two of those spells, and that will allow you to get double the projectiles that will double the damage that you do. So there we go, guys. That's Elementalist Class meta build for you. I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments if you get extra tips for other Elementalists out there. And yeah, since leveling those classes takes a while, I really want to see your likes and comments over here under this video. And if you can share your character with different class that I can overview and make the build for, I would really appreciate that. So yeah, check out the video description for the playlist with additional videos on this game, more guides, my other YouTube channels. I need your subs at my PC channel right now. I'm trying to get it to 1K, city builders mostly, but a lot of other fun stuff. My Discord, social media and other stuff is there as well. And yeah, there is also Android Simulator, so you can play this and other Android games on the PC. And I think that's it, guys. Thank you very much for watching. It's been Stan Kosh. Have a good one. Bye.